Conference call to start. Oh my God.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the Spence versus Garcia and Benavides versus Love Media conference call. Your host for today, Richard Schaefer, will now begin.
Thank you, and welcome to all the media members for being on today's call. They say everything is bigger in Texas, and well, we had to bring a very big card to Dallas, and that's exactly what we did. 1 week to go for the best card, top to bottom of the year, taking place March 16th from the legendary Dallas Cowboys Stadium, live on Fox pay-per-view. The card, when I say top to bottom, the best I can remember, combined records of the four televised fighters, 207 wins, 155 by knockout. I've never seen that, and only 9 losses. I mean, really, I've never seen anything like that. I want to thank as well Fox for an unreal promotion by Fox. I mean, you are on Fox, you watch Fox, you see commercial after commercial. It's really refreshing to see how excited they are about the sport and how they put all their resources behind it. The different shoulder programs on Fox, such as the Face Off, PPC Fight Camp, and Inside PPC Boxing, are generating huge ratings. In fact, the ratings are so big that they exceed, in fact, most boxing telecasts on other networks and platforms by far. And we're just talking about background shoulder programming, providing better ratings than actual fights do on other networks. We anticipate, therefore, a huge pay-per-view audience and a huge live audience in Dallas, and I can't wait. We have 1 week to go. But today we have David Benavides and Jay Leon Love and Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia on the call. But before we're going to turn over to them, I just want to spend a couple of minutes on the other 2 televised bouts. Chris Arreola versus the undefeated Jean-Pierre Augustin is an amazing fight, an amazing showdown as well. I saw Arreola this week at the media workout with Mikey Garcia. He is in unbelievable shape. I've never seen Chris like that. He's mentally, physically ready to go, and he knows that he's going to have a tough task ahead of him with Jean-Pierre Augustin. And then Louis Neri versus McJoe Arroyo. Believe me when I say that Louis Neri is the best bantamweight in the world and absolutely must-see TV. He's so exciting. I think they're tremendous fights for him, and this one here with McJoe Arroyo is the first one under the PBC banner. With Arreola, Neri, Benavides, and Mikey Garcia, we have 4 of the top 5 Hispanic fighters on this card, and all of them are in dangerous and meaningful fights. The man who is largely responsible to bring us these mouth-watering matchups week after week is our co-promoter Tom Brown of TGB. And I want to thank Tom Brown, for the excellent job he is doing. Now, let's move on to David Benavides versus Jay Leon Love. Clearly one of the best matchups and most exciting matchups that can be made in the super middleweight division. It's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerby, to say a few words and introduce his fighter, Jay Leon Love.
Thanks,
Leonard.
Richard. Thank you, Richard. The Jay Leon David Benavides fight is going to be a very, very exciting fight. It's, I think, in my eyes, it's a terrific matchup. It's a matchup that Jay has wanted. He's had an eye on Benavides for quite some time, and I think that with Jay coming in as being the underdog, He's going to lay it all on the line. He's highly motivated. And I think it's a terrific opportunity for him to make a great statement by fighting the very, very talented David Benavidez there. Everyone knows what Benavidez brings to the table. He's a very, very exciting young fighter who had a tremendous amount of success at a young age, and he'll be looking to establish himself by being showcasing his skills out there to the world as he's the best super middleweight out there. And this, again, this Leon Benavidez fight is going to be a very, very exciting fight, and I think the fans will love this fight. Richard?
Excellent. Thank you very much. Leonard. I want to now introduce to you David Benavidez, and I want to acknowledge as well his promoter, Samson, my good friend Samson Lekovic. He has a tremendous eye for talent. We all know that. And with David Benavidez, we have clearly, pound for pound, one of the most exciting fighters in the world. And he's here to reclaim the throne as the best super middleweight in the world. He's determined to steal the night on March 16th in Dallas. And it's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you the former WBC super middleweight world champion, El Bandera Roja, David Benavidez. David?
Hello, Richard. Thank you for introducing me. And, I just want to thank you guys for this opportunity. I've been in training camp 3 months in preparation for this fight. This is also a fight I've wanted for some time now. And, it couldn't be in a better venue than in the Cowboys Stadium. I'm just very blessed to have this opportunity, and I'm not going to let it go to waste. And I'm going to get a spectacular knockout come March 16th. It's really going to be amazing.
Thank you. Thank you very much, David. We are going to be opening it up now for questions for the co-main event. If you have any questions for David or for Leonard or for anyone, please go ahead. Operator?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue at this present time. Our first question is going to come from Carlos Toro from Fightful. Please go ahead.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for letting us talk to you guys. A big fight and big card taking place next week. First question for David. I know you're considered, the quote-unquote champion in recess by the WBC, and they went ahead and crowned a new champion in Anthony Durrell, but do you still see yourself as the definitive WBC super middleweight champion?
I definitely still see myself as a WBC champion. Nobody beat me. They got to come get me, and they got to come beat me, to crown themselves champion. But I definitely still see myself as WBC champion.
If you win this fight against Julian Love, after this fight, is that the plan to go after Anthony Durrell to win back the title that you've never technically lost?
Yes, that's definitely the plan. But for right now, my mind is 100% on Leon Love. He's still a veteran. He's still a dangerous fighter, so I can't overlook him at all. But first things first, I got to take care of business next week on March 16th, and then we'll think about what's going to happen after.
Next, one quick question to Leonard Ellerby. Leonard, Julian Love's last fight against Peter Quillen was a wide unanimous decision, and from what you've seen, have you seen that Julian Love has sort of taken that loss and taken away, something important that he feels could help him in this fight against David Benavidez?
Yes, not to make any excuses. He had a lot going on in his life, a lot on his mind, and a lot of times what happens is when fighters aren't focused, they come into a fight and they're not fully prepared, but again, not taking anything from Peter Quillen, outstanding fighter, and, but that was then. Thankful that he got this opportunity to fight a great young fighter in David Benavidez, and Leon is focused. He's an expecting father. He's highly motivated. He's laying it on the line. He's had a terrific camp, and I'm just very excited to see him get this opportunity and go in there. And we know it's going to be a tough fight because we know what Benavidez brings to the table. but very confident that Jay Leon's gonna win this fight.
All right, thank you, everybody, and best of luck to Julianne and David on March 16th.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to ask a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you would like to ask a question, press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question is going to come from John Cudney from Reddit Boxing. Please go ahead.
Oh, hey guys, this is a question for David. So you've been extremely active in general in your career, usually fighting many times per year. You're coming off by far the longest layoff of your career. Just wondering what your personal goal in this fight is. Is this a fight about regaining confidence as a fighter after such a long layoff, or is this a fight to make a big statement on a big platform on this pay-per-view?
Obviously the confidence never went away on my part. I feel like this is a big stage and a big venue, so it's making a statement. I feel like if I get a spectacular knockout on pay-per-view, my stock is going to go all the way up. So it's just, obviously I haven't been in the ring for a while, so, it's just going in there, seeing where I'm at the first few rounds, and then, go back right where I left off, as being comfortable in the ring, getting a few rounds in, and then, obviously going for the knockout.
Okay, great. So then next question is just, if you, asking you to be a little bit of a self-promoter here, how would you rank yourself at 168? There are a lot of guys like, Callum Smith, Caleb Plant, Anthony Durrell. Where do you see yourself, or do you feel you have more to prove before you can, claim to be the top man in the division?
Obviously I see myself as the best super middleweight in the division, but obviously I have to prove myself. But I do see myself as at least in the top 5, and I think when I get the opportunity to prove myself, I'll show only to myself and to the world that I am the best once the opportunities come up.
Okay, thanks. Last question. If given, the opportunity, how many times would you like to fight this year? Again, just mentioning, for most of your career, you fought many, many times per year.
If I have the opportunity to fight 3 times this year, that would be perfect for me, and I feel like that's the route I want to take. If I get 2 or 3 fights, that'd be perfect.
Okay, thanks a lot, David. Good luck.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Ben Baby from the Dallas Morning News. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hey, David. First off, how do you prepare to fight in a venue like AT&T Stadium, not your traditional, venue that holds boxing when you have a venue that big? Are there any difficulties that come with being in that kind of environment?
Well, this... Yeah, the Mandalay and
Cam,
David, are you there?
we can't hear. Hello?
David!
Yeah, hey, David, can you start the answer again?
Yes. There's no real way to prepare yourself to fight in a venue that big. You just kind of have to go by how it feels. The last time I fought at the Mandalay Bay, there was a lot of people there, but once the fighting gets to going, you really don't really feel the crowd or see the people. You kind of just focus what's in front of you.
Right. And being around Errol, in the build-up to this fight, what's your impression of him been throughout that whole process?
He's a very nice guy. He's a very nice guy. He handles himself in a really professional way. And every time I see him, I shake his hand. And he's a really nice guy. I really look up to him in that sense. He's a great champion. And I want the best for him.
Awesome. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question is going to come from John Gatling from the NewYorkFight.com. Please go ahead.
Yeah, David, how you doing?
Doing good, and yourself?
Not bad. Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback on just how excited you are about this opportunity to fight in Dallas in front of the fans, and just the magnitude of this event and where you think this will catapult you in terms of getting the bigger fights. And do you think that's going to be a hindrance given all of the promotional wranglings that go on, this person's the top rank, this person's with premier boxing champions. How do you look at that situation in terms of you really getting yourself out there after putting on maybe the type of performance that you want to put on?
I feel very confident that I'm going to put on a great performance, and I just want to thank everybody for even keeping me in mind and putting me on this card, pay-per-view. It's basically like a dream come true. So I'm confident that I'm gonna get a spectacular victory. And if I do that, there's going to be so much people watching that once I get a spectacular victory, I'm in line for something big, obviously, because if things go the way I think they're going to go, people are going to want to see me no matter what. And I think that's going to set me in line for the big fights coming up. And, I just want to go back to where I was, having my belt back, find the best of the best. And I feel like Al Heyman, PBC, my promoter, Samson Lukowicz, they'll take care of all that. I just got to do my job and look spectacular, and everything will take care of itself.
Absolutely. Any thoughts on maybe going up to 175 soon? How are you feeling about getting yourself at 168?
I'm very comfortable at 168 right now, but definitely 175 is definitely an option if there's an opportunity to fight for a title or a big opportunity to fight a big fight. We're definitely going to go up. But as of right now, my thoughts and everything is to stay at 168 and to capture all the titles.
All right. Good luck on March 16th, David. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue. Our next question is going to come from Steve Mullenhausen from Sporting News. Please go ahead.
Hi, David. Thank you for taking time off today. It really means a lot. I don't know if this has been answered, so I just got on the call, but there's been a lot. You went through a lot leading into this fight with what happened with the cocaine and getting stripped of the title, and just kind of want to go back to when you got stripped of the title, and what was that moment like? Because you're one of the best in the world, and then a mishap causes you to lose your belt. So what was that experience like of getting something you worked so hard for get taken away from you?
Obviously it wasn't a good feeling to have everything you worked for taken away from you in an instant. But it happened, and it made me more hungry and more motivated to keep working harder and to get back what is rightfully mine. Being on the sideline, seeing my belt won by another person that I know I could destroy. I could destroy. But and seeing him one that kind of did it for me. But we're not going to take no more steps back. We're working hard, and we're going to reclaim what's ours, and we're going to put on spectacular performances, and that's how it's going to be.
What is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself in these last 13 months?
Just the hunger. Just being hungrier. Being more dedicated now. Being closer with my family. And I just owe it to the people who've been supporting me since the beginning. I just want to be a better person and a better fighter for them. So they could have that fighter that they could be proud of.
You go through all the trials and tribulations that you've gone through in this time. Do you feel this fight coming up is a redemption fight to show the world that you are for real, you can keep it together, and you are one of the premier fighters in the super middleweight division?
Yeah, definitely. This is a fight for them. Just so they could see that. I don't want nobody to lose faith in me because I know I'm the best I've ever been right now. I just turned 22 years old. I feel stronger than ever, and I feel this training camp has been amazing. So this fight is definitely going to be for them, so they don't lose faith in me.
And just one final question. Just looking at the main event, I know you're focused on your fight, but just a peek ahead of the curtain a little bit, especially since you've been with Errol a little bit. Who do you think wins that main event? Why?
It's going to be a great fight, man. You know what I mean? both fighters are world-class fighters. Errol Spence is a monster. He has a lot of power. Mikey Garcia is more of a technician. He has a lot of tricks underneath his sleeves. And I think this is going to be the fight that defines him. You know what I mean? So we really don't know what Mikey Garcia is going to bring to the table. I'm pretty sure he's working on so much stuff. And Errol Spence is too. You know, I just expect it to be a great fight. You know, I know both the guys. They're really cool guys. But I feel like the people really the people are the ones that are really going to win with a great fight. You know, it's going to be a great venue. The crowd is going to be electric. You know, and I just can't wait for the fight.
Thank you, David, and the best of luck next weekend.
All right, thank you so much.
Our next question is going to come from Jake Donovan from the Boxingego.com. Please go ahead.
Great, thank you very much. David, I just want to discuss. It seems like once you came out, you know, you openly owned up to when the drug test came out. Were you surprised that it was not like with such a favorable reaction? It seems like everyone's just like so quick. Anytime someone tells a drug test, we're gonna write them off. But everyone actually seemed generally interested in your ring return. It seemed like based on just your response.
You know, I got a little bit of, you know, yeah, I definitely owned up to it because it's something that a world champion should be doing. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. It was just something I shouldn't have been doing. You know, now I'm smarter. You know, my father, me, my team, my father, and we're just not going to be around stuff like that. And you know, we're just going to stay dedicated to our sport.
Very cool. And then moving forward, I know it was difficult for you to watch, you know, not one but two guys kind of, you know, win belts while you've been out of the ring. But being that both are under the PBC banner, does it actually make you more confident going into each fight? I mean, I know you're looking at Julian Love, but, you know, with the win next Saturday, it's like any fight that you want is, you know, right within your reach without having to worry about boxing politics. Does that kind of put your mind at ease going into each fight?
Yeah, it actually makes me more motivated too because these fights could be made, you know, in an instant after my fight. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited, and very motivated of the fights and opportunities that are sitting on the table for me. You know what I mean? Both these fighters are great fighters, they're world title holders. You know what I mean? So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. You know, just seeing what's in set for the future for me.
Great, thanks, David. And then Leonard, just wanted to have a question for you. Okay. Oh, okay. Thanks, Len. This is going to be your third straight look at David Benavidez. I just wanted to know, like, just from the Mayweather promotion standpoint, like, what Mayweather promotion thought is of David as a fighter, and what it is about him that you see, you know, something beatable that you keep sending the guys after him.
No, it's not a matter of sending guys after him. David Benavidez is one of the most exciting, dynamic fighters in the entire sport, just not in the super middleweight division. He's a guy that I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And you're right. I've had a very upfront and close look at him for a couple fights, and I've actually followed his career, you know, up until before he fought Ronald. He's a terrific fighter, but just like any fighter, fighters make mistakes and they have flaws. And Jay Leon saw some things in the reveal fight that he'll be able to take advantage of. He's a young veteran, and he's excited and motivated for this fight, and it's going to be a terrific fight. Number of respect for Benavidez, that Jay Leon coming to win the fight, and he's confident that he's going to get it done.
All right. Thanks very much, Leonard. David, best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Okay.
Our next question is going to come from Mike Woods from The Ring. Please go ahead.
Hi, guys. Question for David. David, I'm wondering, the rough year and a half you had, promotional situation, and then the positive test, is it almost as if you look at that stuff and really wish it hadn't happened and you could just go back in time and do it all over again? Or actually, no. Do you feel like you learned from it, and it's kind of a situation where you have that which does not kill us makes us stronger?
It's a little bit of both. You know what I mean? Obviously, those things that happened to me, I wish that wouldn't happen. But you know, in reality, it did happen. So I learned a lot from myself. Me and my team. You know, it just made us stronger. And in reality, you know, I'm not happy, but the way things played out, you know, it just made us stronger. You know, we've got good opportunities on the table, and we're just willing to take advantage of what we have in front of us. March 16 is going to be one of the biggest fights I've ever been in, probably that I'll ever be in, and so, I get my own big fan base, but I'm just truly blessed to be here. We're taking the negatives and turning them into a positive, you know what I mean? And I'm just extremely ready for my fight next week.
Not looking past Jay Leon Love, but to be quite frank, you, to me, are the favorite coming in. Not asking you to look past Love, but we do, in the back of our mind, kind of think, all right, maybe for my next fight, this is who I might like. Who are some of the guys that you're looking at and kind of licking your chops and saying, I definitely want that fight?
Right now we're going to take care of Jay Leon Love, but obviously I do have some fights in mind. First, I want to get Anthony Durrell back to the title. And then if everything goes good, maybe I can unify with Caleb Plant in the near future. Each one of those guys have the belts, have the belt. So that's what I'm really interested in right now.
That makes good sense. And you know what? Good to have you back. All of us have made missteps when you were young, and I like that you owned up to it. I appreciate that character, and it's good to have you back.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I believe our next question is from Kenneth Bahari from PBC. Please go ahead.
Yes, hi, David. I wanted to know, over the past few months, did you pay close attention to social media and what fans and other fighters had to say about your situation? And if so, what were your thoughts as far as what you read?
I'm sorry, sir, but I can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
I really don't pay attention to social media too much because at the end of the day, I feel like that's not real life. When I wake up, I train, I get my running in. That's what really matters in the day. I'm not going to sit here and kill myself about what people say on the internet. You know what I mean? Because in reality, that really doesn't matter. But, of course, a lot of people had a lot of things to say. That they're entitled to their own opinion. I can't control what somebody says, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to get angry about it either.
Sure. No, I know you said you spent a lot of time in the gym training, obviously. Could you tell us a little bit more about what your training has been like and perhaps who you've been sparring with over the past few months?
Yeah, my training has been really good. You know what I mean? I've been getting a lot of good strength and conditioning training. I've been getting a lot of running. And when I was in California, I was sparring Dimitri Bivol. I sparred him for about a month. And I sparred a lot of other good fighters in California. And then I've been in Texas right now for about 3 weeks, and getting some good work with some guys out here. You know what I mean? So I could say this training camp has really been one of the best training camps I've been. I've been eager to get back in the gym, and I've just been eager to show the people what I have, what I've been working on, and I'm looking to get a spectacular victory on March 16th.
Okay, thank you very much, David. Thank you very much, Leonard. I'd like to ask Leonard and David maybe to make a few closing statements, and then we are going to move on to Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. Leonard first.
Thank you, Richard. Again, I want to thank everyone for joining the call today. Again, it's going to be fireworks come next week, and I'm very excited. It's going to be a great fight.
Thank you, Leonard. And David?
I also want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity, just to have me on this conference call as well. I want to also thank the guys, the main event. You know what I mean? It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great night of boxing. There's definitely going to be fireworks come March 16th. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you, guys. Now we are ready to move on to Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. Saturday, March 16th. I call it the coronation in Dallas. Boxing fans, sports fans, and thanks to Fox, the channel public will witness who will be crowned as boxing's new pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. As we all know, there are two sayings in boxing. The first one is, a great big man always beats a great smaller man. If that holds true, Errol Spence will be crowned in Dallas. But there is just another saying made famous by none other than Floyd Mayweather, skills pays the bills. And if that holds true, Mikey Garcia will be crowned. When the fight was announced, I would say that 98% of the boxing media, boxing experts, and fight fans picked Errol Spence to win the fight. Last week I made some calls and was checking around a bit, and it seems now we are getting close to a 50-50 fight. This is, by the way, evident as well in how the odds have changed and dropped in Las Vegas. I mean, it's pretty simple. This is the fight to see. How often do we see two undefeated world champions, two world champions in their prime, two world champions universally recognized among the top 5 pound-for-pound fighters in the world? In almost 20 years promoting the biggest events, I do not remember a single one event which delivered an undefeated, in their prime, and top 5 pound-for-pound fighter. I mean, it's a fascinating matchup. And that's why I think, as I mentioned before, with all the support from Fox and the excitement building, we will have an unbelievable pay-per-view come March 16th. Now, I'd like to move on and introduce to you these two young men. Both of these young men are an asset to our sport. They are great ambassadors for boxing, and all of us involved in the sport of boxing can be proud that we, as an extension of it, are involved in a sport which has two such amazing young men. It is a pleasure now to introduce these two legendary world champions. First up is going to be Errol Spence. He is clearly the man at 147 pounds. He's undefeated. He's the king of his division, and he is today, without any question, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. It's an honor to introduce now the undefeated IBF world champion, Errol Spence. Errol?
I don't know if he's on. Just stand by 1 second, Richard. I'm working on it. Everyone, please stand by. We're connecting with the fighters. Stand by.
Errol is about to join us now. Errol is on the call now.
Okay. So as I just said, both of these young men, Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia, are a tremendous asset to our sport. They're a great ambassador. And first up now is Errol Spence. He clearly is the man at 147 pounds. He is undefeated. He's the king of the division, and he is today, pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. It's an honor and a pleasure for me now to introduce to you the undefeated IBF world champion, Errol Spence.
Hey, how's it going? Happy to be on this conference call, and it's been a great training camp, and I've been 100% focused and hungry, and can't wait to put on a great show March 16th.
Thank you. Lisa, I think Mikey is not on yet, right?
Right. We're going to take questions for Errol, and then we will switch over to Mikey.
Excellent. Great. So then let's open it up to the media to ask Errol Spence questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. And I'm waiting for callers to join the queue at this present time. Well, our next question is going to come from Mike Woods from the Ring. Please go ahead.
Questions for Errol Spence. Errol, I am curious if you have noted, like Richard Schaefer said, that more and more pundits are seeing that it's possible that Garcia beats you, whereas maybe 90% or so out of the gate said, Spence is going to destroy him. Feels like now it's tightening up, and Richard said that's evident in the odds. Have you noted that? Have you heard more people saying, no, I give Mikey a good chance to beat Errol? And if yes, why do you suppose that is?
That's not something I pay attention to, but I mean, in mostly all boxing matches as we get closer, I mean, the odds tighten up from what I've seen. So, I mean, I can't worry about that. I'm just worried about what my camp thinks and how our preparation is going, and You know, my focus is 100%, and I'm just ready to put on a great show. So I don't care if the odds change in his favor for all I care. I mean, it's still me and him gonna get in the ring and fight.
All right, good stuff. Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Steve Kim from ESPN.com. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. And a couple questions I just want to get from my story. You grew up in DeSoto, right? Not actually Dallas?
Yeah. But I grew up in Cedar Hill, DeSoto, and I grew up in Dallas, too. I went first kindergarten all the way to 4th grade in Dallas, and then I went to Cedar Hill, and then I went to DeSoto for 9th grade all the way to 12th.
Mm-hmm. And I think you said you went to 2 high schools. Could you list those 2 high schools for me?
Cedar Hill High School and DeSoto High School.
Okay, and one last question. I know when you and Derek first met, I know you guys talked about how you guys kind of were in the ring together. Do you remember the name of that gym in the city where it was located?
What, the gym we at now?
What was the gym where you first met Derek?
Oh, Rivero Boxing Gym. Just off of
Rivera?
Rivero, Vivero Boxing Gym.
Okay. And what city was that in?
It's in Dallas. It's the same gym that Virgil Ortiz started at, too.
Okay, great. All right, Errol, best of luck. See everyone next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from John Cutney from Reddit Boxing. Please go ahead. Mr. Cutney? Did you mute your line?
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry about that. Anyway, thanks for being on, Errol. So, I've been covering your fights for a few years. We're used to hearing you and Derek always boast about your big sparring partners, sparring middleweights, light heavyweights, things like that. Just wondering if you guys took a different approach to this fight, if you fought, aimed for smaller, faster sparring partners, and if there are any you can name specifically.
We have added in some lighter sparring, 140 pounders, and guys that fight at my weight class. One of the guys is Amon Rashidi, and he's fighting on the card. He's like 5-0 with 5 knockouts. Well, he's pretty much the same height as Mikey Garcia, but we've been still adding in bigger guys just for the physical approach and just getting a good work out of those guys.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good luck next week.
Thank you.
And our next question is going to come from Stephen Mullerhausen from the Sporting News. Please go ahead.
Hey, Errol, thank you for taking time out today. It really means a lot. And just really want to ask you, sorry about that. Just wanted to ask you, when, Mikey had been talking about you for a very long time. And when he was first talking about you, what was your inclination about wanting to fight him?
At first I didn't really too much care for fighting for him, to tell you the truth, until it got to a point where he started coming out a lot more, and a lot of the other welterweights was pretty much busy, like Sean Porter, Keith Thurman, and Danny Garcia already having dates lined up. So and Manny Pacquiao too. So it was the obvious option for me. And then when I found out that I could be fighting at the Cowboy Stadium, then it just made sense.
If this fight wasn't proposed to be at Cowboy Stadium, would you have taken the fight still, or would you have wanted to go in a different direction?
I don't know. It just depends who's out there for me. But everything happened for a reason. So it's at the Cowboy Stadium. But I don't know what I would have decided if it wouldn't have been at the Cowboy Stadium.
Richard was saying at the beginning of the call, the winner could be pound for pound the best fighter in the world today, considering where you guys both are in the rankings. Do you view the winner, if you do win, if you get by Mikey, that you are the best fighter in the world, and it's not Lomachenko and it's not Terrence Crawford?
Like I always say, it's not just about winning; it's about your performance, and it's how you win. So, if I have like a spectacular one-sided performance, then I do rate myself as pound for pound number one, just the best fighter in the world. Period.
Do you subscribe to the theory that has been running out there since this fight's been made that Mikey doesn't have a chance? He's the little guy. You're the bigger guy. Do you subscribe to that David and Goliath theory, or do you feel Mikey is a great fighter? He brings more to the table than people really think.
I think he definitely brings a lot to the table, and people who say that he doesn't stand a chance, I feel like don't really know anything about boxing, or don't know the history of boxing. Just say he doesn't have a chance, but he does have a title at 140 too. So that's just one weight class up from 147. So he does have experience fighting at 140. So everybody has a chance. He does have a chance. He does have a lot of skills, and he is fundamentally sound. And he comes from that boxing pedigree, so he definitely has a chance.
And one final question: considering the magnitude of this fight and the history that is on the line, where the fight is taking place, is this the biggest fight of your life? You look at who you face. You went to England. You beat Kell Brook. Does this win? Would it be bigger than when you beat Kell Brook out in England?
It's kind of hard to say because without that win, and especially going overseas and fighting, considered one of the best, considered the best welterweight in the world, and going overseas and beating him in his hometown, that added to a lot of experience and different things that lead me to this point, lead me to the victory I'm gonna get next Saturday. So it's kind of hard, but I think this is the biggest win, just where it's at, and just it's on Fox pay-per-view, and it's been hyped up to be really big. So I think this might be the biggest win of my career right now.
Thank you, Errol, and the best of luck next Saturday.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from Matthew Ryan from Fight Sports. Please go ahead.
Hey, Errol, good afternoon. So heading into this fight, it was mentioned earlier, you've got the size and the reach advantage, but Mikey says that's not going to matter next weekend in Dallas. He feels that he's a better fighter than you all around. What do you make of that, and what are some of the flaws you've seen in Mikey's game between now and the start of training camp?
Mikey's confident. I like that. It shows that, he's really come to fight, and it's going to be a great fight. So, I don't make nothing out of it. That's how they feel. That's how they can't feel. So, they definitely have a game plan, I guess, to, exploit, my strengths. And, me and my camp been working hard. My coach been watching film, and, we have a game plan on ourselves. So, the ring, we'll find out, if my reach or my size is going to be an advantage or not, or, my skill set and things like that, or just my athletic ability. So we'll see.
And earlier, this was called a coronation. Do you feel that level of importance outside of it being Cowboy Stadium, outside of it being on pay-per-view? It's two of the top 10 fighters in the world squaring off. Does that put any added pressure on it, or is it another day at the office for you?
With me personally, it's another day at the office, but it's definitely a huge fight. Just by exposure wise, and becoming a superstar that I want to be. So this is a huge fight, but for me right now, it's another day in the office. I don't really think about that till after the fight, and the magnitude of it till after the fight. So I don't get caught up in the moment, but it is a huge fight, especially for my career.
Thank you so much, champ. Best of luck next week.
Thank you.
Our next question is going to come from John Gatlin from NewYorkFight.com. Please go ahead.
What's going on, man? So the last time we really saw you get some work, some rounds, I was sitting in the Barclays Center watching you pretty much, put Lamont Peterson through the worst experience of his life. His trainer had to come in and stop that fight. Lamont's a big welterweight, very, very physically strong guy, and you really, manhandled him. Derek James, your trainer, came out and said, look, he really asked for this fight, was adamant about getting the fight, and had to talk his family into taking this fight, and that at some point in time, they're going to have to make a decision in the corner about how much punishment Mikey Garcia is taking in this fight on March 16th. What do you feel about that? I mean, your trainer, he obviously knows who you are, and what do you feel about that? Do you really expect Mikey Garcia to be able to go 12 rounds with you?
I mean, if he goes 12, he goes. But with me, my mentality is, I train hard for a hard 12-round fight. Because I don't want to, expect. I don't want to not expect something and then something else happens. So, I always, even if it might not happen, or I think that I always take myself out to make sure that I'm fully prepared, not just physically but mentally for a grueling 12-round fight. So even if I do get the knockout, out the camp, we're focused on conditioning and training hard for a 12-round fight. So, I mean, if I get the knockout, that's good, but it's something in my mind that, I don't let it get to me because, it could be different. And, I want to be prepared if I have to go 12 rounds.
That's the right answer. All right, thanks a lot, champ. Good luck to you on March 16th. We'll see you in Dallas.
Thank you.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Again, if you have any questions at this time, please press star 1 on your telephone keypad. Our next question is going to come from Cameron Buford from the LA News Observer. Please go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Spence, thanks for taking time to answer our questions today. How's the training camp going?
Going good.
Do you admire Mikey Garcia for wanting to step up and fight you, taking on this challenge?
I respect him. I always respect Mikey Garcia and his skills and his, and his talent. It's apparent, but other than that, I respect him after the fight, depending on, his whole game plan and things like that. So, I definitely respect him for taking the fight and not really rising up to the challenge. He challenged me, but, for moving up and taking the fight because I don't know who I would be fighting or where I would be fighting at if he didn't call me out. So, this is a great fight. And the magnitude of the fight is great, too, because, Sean doesn't have, he has a big fight coming up, but it hasn't been publicized that way as a big fight. And he has they say it's a tune-up, but he has a fight, but it's not of any magnitude. Keith Thurman had a fight, but it wasn't of any magnitude. So, I'm just grateful to have this big fight of, this type of magnitude on Fox pay-per-view, which Sean, Daniel, or, Keith haven't done yet and headline yet. They've been pro for a very long time. So, I'm happy to be, at the head right now.
Yeah, that talks about the matchup this is supposed to be. We're all excited about it. Are you just excited to be in this fight as we are to see this fight?
I'm definitely excited. I was excited as soon as I found out, where it was going to be at, and, basically it was just an easy fight to make. Mikey wanted to fight, I wanted to fight, and it made sense for it to happen here. I was excited to be fighting at home again, and especially be fighting at the Cowboy Stadium.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What concerns you in your game plan about Mikey Garcia the most?
Nothing really. I feel like I've seen every side there is to see. Especially a guy like Mikey Garcia who's very
traditional. Has good footwork, but at the end of the day, he's very traditional. And me, being from Texas and and starting at our Spanish gym, I'm very familiar with his style and what he does and things like that. So another side that I'm not used to seeing, and just all my international experience and fighting guys who try to move around the ring and outpunch you or come forward and things like that. So I just feel like I'll be prepared for anything that he brings to the table.
Thanks for answering the questions, man. You mentioned those names before. Are those some of the names or some of the guys you would be looking fighting after you fight Garcia next weekend?
Yes, all of them.
Okay. We'll be looking forward to that. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. I just, I'm going to have Errol make some closing comments, but I just want to add something. Errol Spence is one of those throwback fighters, a fighter who we all know is going to fight anybody and everyone. And being as good as he is, being pound for pound one of the best, being undefeated, there are not too many other guys calling him out. So for Errol Spence to be headlining, to have this opportunity to headline his first pay-per-view event, to headline the pay-per-view event from the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Imagine that, in the first pay-per-view to headline from Dallas Cowboys Stadium. But then there's another first, to headline the first Fox pay-per-view, the first time that a free over-the-air network, television network, is entering the pay-per-view space, and Errol Spence is there, and they're doing it with him. And then to have the opportunity to fight pound for pound an undefeated fighter, one of the best fighters in the world as well, a fellow top 5 pound for pound fighter with Mikey Garcia. You look at all of these opportunities. So Errol Spence is perfectly situated to really become the face of the sport and be the face of the sport. He has the skills, he has the talent, and he has an opportunity, and he knows all of that. So I can't wait to see you next week, Errol. And it's going to be a big week, and it's going to be an exciting week, and let's start the journey to make history here. I'd like to turn it over to you again, Errol, to make some closing comments.
I want to thank everybody for coming on the conference call. This is a real, this is a real boxing event, a real boxing match between two great fighters, two top 10 pound fighters who's undefeated. So that's rare to have, in today's time, especially in boxing. So, I hope everybody tune in on Fox Pay-Per-View. You can get your tickets on CE.com. It's going to be an amazing event. I can't wait to put on another amazing performance. I'm 100% ready. I'm in tip-top shape. I'm training hard. I'm in crazy focus. And, I basically got tunnel vision straight to Mikey Garcia March 16th. So make sure you all tune in. It's going to be an amazing event. Thank you.
Thank you, Errol, and look forward to see you next week. I just have been informed now that Mikey is actually not going to be able to join us today, but we will make a separate conference call with Mikey and Chris Ariola on Monday, and Kelly Swanson PR, and Lisa, they will send you guys all the information to when that will take place. So I wish you guys from the media a great weekend. Make sure you tune in this weekend. A great card, top to bottom, from the Dignity Health Center, former Stop House in Los Angeles. I can't wait for that one as well. It's going to be on Fox as well and FS1. So looking forward to talk to all of you on Monday together with Mikey and Chris Ariola. Thank you very much.
And everyone, I just wanted to add, we will be sending out the Fight Week schedule today, so please keep an eye on your inboxes. And also, as Richard said, we will send out a notification about Monday's call.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining. You may all disconnect and have a great day.
Thanks. Yo. Oh man, These allergies are killing me. Hold on, y'all. Fuck. Hold on 1 second. Yeah. Listen. Can y'all hear me? No, I just took my allergy pill. I'm gonna use that nasal spray too. My allergies are fucked. Y'all hear me? If y'all can hear me, put your fives up or put your dubs up. That's even better. Put your dubs up. Throw up that W in the comment section if y'all can hear the live stream king. I told y'all what it is. Put your dubs up. I just want to see dubs. We bang for that west side, the best side. With a rest ride. Let's get it. Someone said you on that Billy Joe Saunders. That's fucked up. Man, shit, I'm about to be on that Billy Joe Povetkin, whatever the fuck. Get rid of these allergies. Let's talk about it, people. Smash the like button. Listen, I see why these fighters be ready to Kurt Cobain themselves. These questions were horrible, and they never let me ask a question. You know what I'm saying? You know, see, this is what I tell y'all about in the game or whatever. The little politics and stuff. Some of these guys have been reporting boxing for X amount of time, so you know they're going over the list, and they'll let you ask. You know, let certain people ask a question, and then you hear what some of the questions are. Like, you know, I'm not here to badmouth anybody, but some of the questions sound like they afraid of the fighter. Some of them sound like so surface area. It's like chip the paint. Some of it sound like stuff like y'all. I told y'all from the beginning, y'all better be happy. Y'all better be happy I'm free. Y'all should be happy for new media. Errol Spence sounded like he was playing Call of Duty, getting a kill streak, answering the questions. That shit was no challenge to him. He probably felt like, man, this is a waste of time away from my family or a waste of time from camp asking these questions. Motherfucker was playing Call of Duty in the back. Man down. What did you say? Yeah, I went to DeSoto High. Man down. Like, what are we asking him what high school he went? What was your GPA? What the fuck? What does any of that have to do with anything, bro? Like, no disrespect to Texas, no disrespect to Errol. He's just doing his job and asking. But why? What does his high school got to do with it? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Sober grad night? Like, what's popping? Like, real talk. Like, and see, this reminds me of being in high school. Like, I'm going to just tell y'all. I'm not even, you know, you can call me cocky or whatever. But I used to live in England, and the curriculum was so far ahead. When I came to the States, I was like a genius, you know what I'm saying? Like I was really ahead of the curve, you know, because of the curriculum they teach in England and the UK is so far advanced, or at least at the time, probably still to this day, because America, we can definitely improve against other countries in school. So I learned stuff that they didn't learn for like 3-4 years later here, you know. So that's why I started being a class clown and getting bored and stuff, because the work was super easy, you know. And it reminds me of like school, when the teacher will like come up with the homework assignment. Oh, you have a 3-page paper on your favorite vacation due on Friday, and then any questions? And then you know, that stupid ass, ugly ass kid, you know, with buck teeth and shit, that stank. She'll say, the teacher say, any question, and then so, when's it due? Like, bitch, she just told you to. Oh my God, she just said the paper's due on Friday. Like, it's like you so happy or whatever. It's always been like this, and it'll probably always be like this. Some people are so happy to ask a question that it's like, you know, it's like they don't even care what they're asking. They just want to be talking or something. You know, the teacher said, write about your favorite vacation, 2 to 3 pages, due on Friday. When's it due? Like, she just told you that. You asking what was already clearly, thoroughly, like, assigned. You know? And it's like some of the, I don't know, man. Like I said, I feel like Mike Tyson in his prime. They not fucking with us, what we do. You know? These people, I don't know if it was me, but it sounded like the voices sound the same. I feel like, I see why my channel popping. I feel like my voice don't even sound like these other dudes a lot of time. Like, it literally sound like the same guy, like the same voices and shit. And then like I don't know, man. Some people just got the gift. I guess gift the gab. Like, I'm from the Bay where we hustle. You get in where you fit in. That's that simple, you know. They ask, so it said like scary movie. They said what, or Scream. He said, what's your favorite scary movie? Yeah, like, you're supposed to ask questions that, one, that fans want to hear, two, that solicit a good response. They was asking Errol weird stuff that, you know, really he could, and David Benavidez. It's like stuff that they can answer with one word. That don't really get nothing for, like, hey, how's camp? Good. Like, that's just it. Okay, pretty cool. What we talking, bruh? Pretty cool? Yeah, neato, man. You know, like, even I see why these fighters probably don't even like press days. You know, because it's like, it's kind of a waste of time. Like, they're asking, oh, hey, how's training camp going? That's like so surface area. That's like when you run into someone from high school, you didn't really even want to speak to them, and you just have to shoot the breeze and shit. Oh yeah, how are you doing? You don't know what to say. You just want to get your products from Target and leave, and you ran into their crusty ass from high school. You know, most of the time I try to hide. You know what I'm saying? I be looking like Bigfoot. You know them leaked tapes of Bigfoot where he walking and he look back. I be trying to hide from certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to speak because I know it ain't gonna be about nothing. I don't like small talk. I don't want to shoot the breeze. I don't want to fuck. I don't want to. I ain't talked to you in 10 years, man. I don't know what you doing. I don't know what. Let's just leave it at that. I'll be trying to hide. I'll be hiding behind Pampers and Huggies pull-ups and shit. Don't say shit to me. I don't like you. No, it's just weird shit, bro. You know what I'm talking about, them old shitty tapes of Bigfoot and Oregon and shit. The motherfucker walking all slow. He look back at the camera and then keep walking. Like, that ain't no fucking Bigfoot. That's fucking LeVar in a fucking gorilla costume. Get the fuck up out of here. Breathing all the white man's air. Hey, you tripping. Clayton Bigsby, though? Yeah, man, they just be, what? They asking Errol stuff and he just like, okay, let's break, like, for real. I'm not, I'm just being real. Like always. How's training camp, Errol? What's he supposed to be? Man, I got back spasm. You know, what's he supposed to say? Man, this shit, I ran out of breath and when I was sparring. Like, who? Man, I see fighters get their ass whooped. I'm not saying this about Errol, but I'm just saying fighters will get their ass whooped in a fight or some shit, but then before the fight said they had the best training camp ever. It's after you, oh, man, my elbow I got tennis elbow, you know, I got glaucoma. You know, that's when you find out about everything. But ain't no fighter gonna fuck around and tell you I've had a horrible training camp. You know, so give Mikey all the confidence in the world or whoever you're facing. Hey, Conor McGregor, how's your Mayweather training camp? I don't know. I just feel, you know, it was fucked up. Like, what would anyone say to that? You know, they asking weird stuff, bro. Hey, I know your fight next week is at AT&T Stadium, but would you take the fight if it wasn't at AT&T? What is the basis? Like, what are we talking about? Like, honestly. Why are we doing hypothetical if your fight wasn't in where it's actually at? I don't understand the point. Like, honestly. Like, I'm a pretty tall guy, right? So if someone's like, oh, what if you had to live your whole entire life as a short motherfucker? How would you feel? Like, I don't know, because I'm not short. I don't, you know, what's the point of me? See, I don't like that. You know, I don't like fantasy. Talk about Danny. Talk about reality. Talk about Danny. I feel Anthony Joshua. No fantasy contracts. Like, I want to do a reality. You know, what are we talking about? What are you going? If you had to live your entire life as a short guy, how would you feel? I don't know. Like Skilo. I wish it was a little bit taller. I wish it was a baller. I wish I had a girl. If I did, I would call. Like, I don't know how I would feel, because the fact is I am tall. You know what I'm saying? Oh, if your fight wasn't at where it's at this big blockbuster, you know, AT&T Stadium, would you have taken the fight? What's the point? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the basis? Like, okay, so he's fighting Mikey next week. So we want to know what happens would he had taken the fight if he wasn't fighting Mikey at that venue. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? It just it just don't make sense to me, bro. And then they ask it, David Benavidez, oh yeah, I know you did cocaine. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Do you regret it or you like the fact that you did it? Like, what the fuck kind of question? Hey, bro, what? What is he supposed to say to that, bro? Yeah, we know your ass got high, motherfucker. Do you regret getting high? Or you like the fact that you was high, motherfucker? You would, yeah. Like, what can anyone say that he's trying to fight Jay Leon? He's trying to move on with his life. You asking him if he regrets, like, cocaine. I just don't understand it, bro. What is he supposed to? Yeah, man, good times, bro. Man, I wrote up a $1 bill. And, like, what is he going to say to that? Man, I had some of the finest hoes. I took a $1 bill. I must have, like, what can you say to some stupid shit like that, bro? Yeah, I like the fact that I did coke and got busted for it, bro. Like, that's not even like, it's like, I don't know. I feel like people interview fighters. I interview fighters live, like Mike Tyson. I'm talking to who I want to talk to. No, just playing. I respect the fighters, but you got to understand the life of a fighter. You know, you got to understand the life of a fighter. They get the same questions over and over and over and over again, you know? So you got to try to mix it up from time to time. And like I said, y'all should be thankful for new media. This is more proof of that, you know? And I'm not saying, I don't know what questions you guys like. I'm just listening to it, and it's just like, man, I'd rather be doing my live stream. No disrespect to the fighters, but the fighters aren't, you know, being asked. And these are the people a lot of times that get in the front of the queue, you know, get in front of the queue before channels like mine or whoever. to ask a question, and then they asking what high school he went to. Like, what is that? How does that concern me? Like, I mean, no disrespect to DeSoto High or whatever, Riviera or whatever he said, but like, what does that have to do with the Mikey fight? Like, are there high schools battling too? Like, what are we doing? We going to a football game after this? I just don't get it. So I see why people be like, oh man, I want you at the fights. Like I said, just support what you want in the sport, but I see why people like when I go to the fights, because I try my best, I guess. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I definitely try to ask impactful things. Like, people don't. He said, Errol, how does it feel fighting Mikey? Good. That's what I'm saying. It's like one word. Like, what'd you eat for breakfast? Oatmeal. Like, we just stuck at oatmeal. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we have nowhere to go. It's just us and the oatmeal and shit. Because your line of questioning and shit. You see how that worked? It's all in the, what'd you eat for breakfast, Errol? Oatmeal. Now we stuck. Just me, you, and the porridge, and the oatmeal, the cream of wheat. That's it. Like, at least mix it up. But, like, for this particular fight, since weight is a concern, since he's moving up, have you had to change your diet? And I know just what you eat for breakfast shit. What? I see why the Charlos be snapping on people all the time, all reporters and shit. Man, whatever. It's a great fight. Richard Schaefer, he did a good job. The fighters did a good job, but some of these questions is like crazy. I'm half Haitian and that cream of wheat goes hard. Yeah, it does. Hey, who's that slave though? He been on the box since I was born and shit. Who is that? That slave dude that looked like a coon YouTube channel or something. Who is that? On the cream of wheat button. Motherfucker happy to be cooking for massa and shit. He on the cover like with that little Chef Boyardee hat. Who is that? What's the last girl you slept with, Errol? Was it woman down? Like, why are you asking that man that? These dudes be asking weird shit. Would you have taken the fight if it wasn't at the AT&T Stadium where it actually is and everybody's excited for it? Someone says Draymond Green. Hey, get the fuck out of here. Y'all so disrespectful in the chat. They said that cream of wheat dude is Draymond Green. I'm done, bro. Yeah, woman down. She let me hit first day. Woman down. Like, what kind of questions is this? What questions did you have for them? I don't have to validate myself to you. My shit be fire. It'd be more fire than that. I didn't get an opportunity to ask questions, so it is what it is. I don't have to tell you what questions I had. I didn't get to ask anything. That's Aunt Jemima's dude? The cream of wheat dude? Hey, y'all out of pocket, bruh. The black shit? What? Why is the guy the cream of wheat? The black... I was looking forward to Mikey Garcia being on the call. That kind of sucks. They said they're gonna reschedule it, but I wanted to, see what he was talking about right after. They should have had him on the thing arguing. That would have been better. I'm lifting weights. That Draymond Green comment almost made me drop this shit. That was out of pocket. The black cereal, Yeah, that's y'all said Draymond Green on the cream of wheat box. Y'all so disrespectful. Y'all know some NBA players be watching my shit too. They gonna tell him and shit, and they gonna find your IP address. Draymond gonna pull up. So you said I was on the cream of wheat box, huh? Huh? I was on the cream. You know you're fucked up. Man, them questions was atrocious. And they be acting scared too. Like the thing is, I don't know, man. They're like, "How you doing, Errol?" And he don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? He don't even know the person particularly. And they were like, "How you doing, Errol?" Good. Like he just said, like, good. Dude whack as fuck. Who? Who, Michael Johnson? Who whack as fuck? Yeah, Draymond. He a dog on that court. Yeah, shooters, y'all, when we doing stuff like that, y'all gotta do y'all gotta police the comment. I was seeing people starting arguments and shit. See, that's what I'm saying. Just so y'all know. What? Just so y'all know, what was I gonna say? I don't even remember. I really, like, literally lost it. I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh well, it'll come back. Oh yeah, it was just about the shooters, I think. Oh yeah, y'all gotta police. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. When basically any high profile fight, there's always an influx of casuals that come to the channel. You know, like my post fight commentaries and stuff. And there'll be people just, you've never seen their username. And it's, you know, a ton of people, and they just be coming saying, "Shut the fuck up," you know, stupid shit. Y'all gotta just look at that, because anytime it's like a conference call, anything like this, you get the creepy weirdos who just come for big fights and just, you know, aren't really regulars, who just happen to click on the video. Yeah, Baby Nelson looked dumb as shit. Ego talks way too much. I done left for 30 minutes, came back, and he's still going. First of all, you sound stupid as fuck, considering how I didn't say one word, really, for 50-something minutes, and I just started talking. And it's only been going on 1 hour and 19 minutes. So, that was pretty stupid. That's why I understand why the shooters clapped you, because that was pretty dumb. You see how they blame me for everything? Man, I left for 30 minutes. I came back. Ego still talking. Motherfucker, if you came back 30 minutes ago, the conference call was on. So I wasn't talking. I was actually sitting here drinking my tea like AJ. I was drinking tea. You know, tea and crumpets, to be honest. So you're lying. And my shooters dealt with you because of your lies. I came back and Ego still talking. That's even stronger point. Shout out to my dude Bakari. These dudes are like real life. They got like a sprinkle of retardation, like just bloop, you know, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. He said, "What are you supposed to do during a live chat outside of talk?" I don't know, bro. That's what I'm saying. Why would you come to? You want a talkless live chat, dummy? Like I'm just gonna be on here like a fucking mime and shit. What the fuck? I don't know sign language. They gonna think I'm throwing up gang signs. You know, I can't win. They're like, Ego was throwing up gang signs. They want to see you dress and comb your beard. That's what I'm saying. These dudes weird. Beard's weird. They come to a live chat. They come to a live chat, live stream to talk about the talking. This is too much talking. Like, even the gamers who are playing video games talk during that. What did you expect on the box? It says live call boxing. These dudes. That's like going to Planned Parenthood and not expecting no fucking, you know, none of the patients to be fucking. Like, what do you think they in Planned Parenthood for? They came to get that brown baggie. If you ever been to Planned Parenthood, you know what I'm talking about with that brown baggie. Planned Parenthood give you 1,001 condoms in that little brown baggie. Like, yeah, Planned Parenthood do it like a drug deal and shit. They do it like a drug deal. You got this little crinkled up brown bag. What the fuck is this? I got these cheeseburgers, man. Like, you got the cheeseburger bag from Menace. Fuck out of here. Yeah, all condoms that don't fit and shit. They for like preteens or some shit. I don't trust it. There's too many condoms in there. They probably poke holes in my shit, so I come back. It didn't work. She still got pregnant. Netflix special coming soon. Why is this debate so racial? Because there's a lot of racist motherfucking fans in boxing. Hey, why you block him? I don't think he was a problem like that. I don't think he was saying that to me. I don't know. My shooters just be clapping anything. I see why some of the people mad. My shooters just be clapping everything. They're like, good morning. Bah! Oh, shit. Hey, shooters, we got to chill, bro. We got to chill because there's like people getting clapped for it. Hey, Ego, I bought you some chocolates. Bah! Don't bring him shit. Like, hey, bro. Y'all turn it into the Wild Wild West, bro. Y'all got to chill. Y'all still talking about Planned Parenthood? Hell yeah. Y'all nasty as fuck. Y'all on some Cosby shit. I would like to go to Planned Parenthood to get the bag. They got the bag of the condoms. You see. Can I go to Planned Parenthood without getting the brown bag and the condoms? Hey, y'all tripping. Yeah, man, Spence Garcia is a good fight. Some people are trying to turn it racial. You know, it's every time it's a big fight, you always see this. You know, stupid shit instead of just respecting the sport. Hey, Sierra out of pocket, bro. Stop laughing because it's encouraging me to do more bail. You see. Because there's a lot of racism in the world. I hate when people think the racism not racial at all. Get out of here, bro. You don't have a channel. You know, they be calling, you be getting called names and shit. Somebody said, why are you talking shit about Mikey? What? Like, I'm convinced some of y'all don't even listen to the content, bro. So, are you not answering boxing questions anymore? Man, shut your ass up. What? Am I not answering boxing questions anymore, bro? What are you talking? Leave. That's all you have to do. Don't question it. If it ain't your cup of tea, leave. I want you gone. Alexis Mundo. Look at the names, faces, and profile pics of people doing the most hating. So, you're not going to answer any more boxing questions on your boxing channel? Listen. If you don't like the content, leave. You don't have to make no big fuss. Just leave. I got this. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym. I'm literally asking you a question. Okay, what's your question? Okay, hold on. Alexis Mundo, everybody. Mundo got a question. What's your question? I'll answer it. Okay, what's your question? I'm ready. We'll stop the whole chat for you. Does the height make it harder for body shots? What is that? I don't understand what that means. Does the height make it harder? Does what height? See, come on, Mundo. We gave you the spotlight. You got to talk full sentences. We need verbs, predicates, all that. Does Mikey Garcia's height make it harder for Spence's body shots? No, because he has long arms. Spence has long arms. No. I mean, it changes the trajectory of your punches, but Spence has long arms. Like, Spence, I think, has like a Mayweather type of reach, like 70-something, 71, 72, something like that. So, no, it's not going to be like anything different. Like, because the people in Mikey's division, like, Mikey's not like overtly short for 140. See, there's this misconception that Mikey is like the smaller. He's not like Leprechaun in the Hood. I want me shillings. You know, he's not. He's shorter than Spence, but you know, he's not like the smallest person ever. Like, if you look at Errol's early career, he probably fought some guys that are similar heights and things like that. And he's also telling you in the conference call that he sparred with some 140 pounders and smaller guys too. So you prepare for it and you train for that. That's the whole reason to bring in different looks in sparring. See, shout out to Eagles Army. We got so much knowledge in it just in the comment. He said Leonard Bundu is shorter than Mike around his height. Exactly. And he's like tricky, former Olympian, Italian Olympian. Shout out to Victor Torres. Salute, Boxingego. Appreciate you. So, yeah, I mean, that's the whole purpose of sparring and preparing. You got a guy who's a little bit taller, shorter than what you're used to. You know, you can get those different looks. Like Canelo, I guarantee he's probably going to fight some taller guys because he's preparing for Daniel Jacobs, you know. Like, Mikey's mouthpiece got him this fight. And I'm not saying like his skill set didn't. But, like, that's the thing that's making it interesting because, like, Mikey keeps, I see something. And people are like, all right, what is this? You know, obviously he's not going to just straight away tell you so you can give your opponent an opportunity to make corrections. But, I don't know. The world wants to know what Mikey sees. Think about Gamboa versus Crawford, same movie. See, and the other thing is, people sleep on that Gamboa fight. Gamboa was beating Crawford. You know, Gamboa was beating Crawford. I had Gamboa winning like the first 5-6 rounds. I thought Gamboa looked real sharp. But the thing is, like, this is no disrespect to Mikey. I rate Mikey. I appreciate him. But the thing is, Gamboa had like a little bit of, he had like more of an X factor for Crawford at that time because he's explosive. He's explosive with speed, quick-witted, quick-handed, southpaw, I believe. Yeah, he's a southpaw. So, you know, and he had power in both hands. And he had a good resume, you know. He had beat the Salidos, the guy who beat Lomachenko. You know, they were calling him Baby Mike Tyson and stuff like that. To me, the thing is, Gamboa's dog food later on, yeah, but that's later on. Put it this way. I asked Terrence Crawford personally, who was your toughest fight? Would you say is Gamboa? And he's like, yeah, I would say Gamboa. So, I mean, you heard it from the horse's mouth. He told me, him and Bo Mac told me that Crawford toughest fight was that. So, you know, it is what it is. So he could be dog food later on, but he gave him tough first half. But anyway, besides all that, he was fast twitch, you know, a fast twitch kind of guy. Mikey is technically sound, but he's not fast twitch. And see, y'all got to understand boxing and know what to look for. Adrian Broner, y'all see when I say this, this is why I don't want to say this because a lot of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. And then y'all say I'm crazy. And, oh, would you believe this guy Ego, what he says, because y'all, it's like White Men Can't Jump, that movie, because y'all don't hear Jimmy. Y'all don't look at boxing the same way. We don't look at it from the same set of lenses. You listen to Jimmy, but you don't hear Jimmy. And then I know they get mad like Woody Harrelson. Like, what you mean? I listen to and hear Jimmy. No, you don't hear Jimmy. They don't hear Jimmy. I'm trying to tell y'all. People watch boxing, but they don't hear Jimmy. You dig? Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. Rest in peace. If y'all want me to say it, I'm going to say it on my channel. If y'all want me to say it, can I get a hell yeah? And I'll say it. But some of y'all are going to be like, and get mad, and I don't know what you're talking about. You're lying. You're lying. This is not what y'all want to hear. That's why I don't have to do it. Like Roy Jones said, didn't want to do this, but y'all made me. Okay, I'll say it. I'll prove it. Listen carefully. Adrian, the problem, Broner, the can man, whatever he called himself for that fight, hurt Mikey Garcia. Yeah, I said it. Y'all didn't hear me. Adrian Broner hurt Mikey Garcia. I was there. Some of y'all don't have no idea because y'all just thinking like Mikey just destroyed him and stuff like that. So you don't have no concept of what I'm talking about. But if you watch that fight, Broner hurt Mikey Garcia. See, look, Mal Lopez, he says, nah, exactly. Okay, so he didn't get hurt. Let's hold on. I'm gonna put Mal. Look at the names, the faces, and the profile pics of the people doing the most hating. So he didn't hurt Mikey Garcia at any point in 12 rounds. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why some people they'll love the sport of boxing or like it, but they'll never grow with it because what they refuse. They're in denial. They refuse to even hear someone out. He didn't even let me finish or elaborate, and he's like, nah. So you mean to tell me Mikey was not hurt in 12 rounds of that fight? You in the hot seat, Mal Lopez. Mal Lopez, he was not hurt. Hey, give Mal Lopez 10 seconds and then block him. We gonna get an answer about you. We gonna get an answer. I seen it. Mikey hurt Maidana. See, y'all don't know shit about boxing. Let's just be clear. You know, they say, oh, Ego, why don't you be humble? Because how could I be humble when they say stuff like this? Just so you know, people have their own personal disdain and hatred for people, for these fighters like Broner. I get it. You don't like how he acts and stuff, so you will never give him credit for anything. Keep counting. So let me keep talking. So you won't give him credit for anything because your disdain, your dislike, you know, your favoritism, your racism, whatever it is for you particularly, that's what we see time and time again with boxing. People are so emotional. Broner does some things like when he's like acting suicidal and, you know, that stuff is like, or acting like, you know, super depressed and he's quitting boxing. That's not for me, you know. But not everything that the person does is going to be. Block Mal Lopez. He just put a smiley face. Block him. Block him. Stop the count. Block Mal Lopez. He put a smiley face. Joke's on you. I'm the ultimate joker. Call me Heath Ledger. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertain. Yeah. Laugh at that. Listen. Once again, this is what I'm talking about. See, when it comes to debating this, in the hot seat, these dudes say this stuff. Nah, you're lying. But then when it comes to matching wits and, you know, recanting and recounting what we seen, you notice they don't want no parts of that. That's why they play games, put little kissy faces and emojis and stuff, but they don't want to go bar for bar because they don't really have an argument. They just don't like the fact that you said what you said. The fact is, Broner hurt Maidana. People just focused because Broner got knocked through the ropes and went like that, and he got knocked down, and they focus on that aspect. Maidana did his thing. Maidana's one of my favorite fighters. He did his thing, but Maidana will tell you Broner hits hard. The reason he knows he hits hard is because Maidana has had some stamina issues-ish, and he slowed down, and Broner started coming on. Actually, the second knockdown, round 8 or 9 or whatever it was in the Broner-Maidana fight, Broner was actually doing good that particular round, and then he got caught with the big shot, and then he kind of went down. He fell back and went down. But around that time, Broner was doing good. But obviously it's a 10-8 round because Maidana knocked him down. He just got that type of power. Same thing with Mikey Garcia. But again, some of y'all don't know shit about boxing. So because you have a personal, grudge against a fighter, you don't like them, you'll never give them credit. I never said, Broner is Mayweather or anything like that, but I give him credit where credit's due. And he hurt Maidana. It looked like he hurt Pacquiao, but I was there live. I mean, I was at the Garcia fight live too, but different vantage points. And he hurt Maidana too. And he hurt Sean Porter. But people, that doesn't mean that they won the fight. I'm not saying that. The things that I say on this channel are very responsible. Very responsible. You got people like, oh, fucking Ego's biased. Such a biased guy. He is, But then you go to the channels, you go look at, like when I go to block them, blocked. And then I go look at the videos they like, and they like in channels that are talking crazy about boxers. You know what I'm saying? So it tells you who's really biased. That's why I like it. I love it when there's coon channels and they have alleged support from people I blocked, people who are known racist, stuff like that. That's great. You can have them. I don't want them. I don't want people like that, ignorance on my channel. So, let them support you. That's how I know that God put me on this earth and put me in this position to make a difference. You dig? I like it. I like that. I love pressure. I've always done good with pressure. I'm diamond in the rough. So I love it. I love when I see people I've blocked, oftentimes for ignorance or racism or being crazy casuals, giving props to another channel because that's the fan base that they have. We got real life boxing fans from all different walks of life, different genders, different creeds, different categories, different regions of the world. This we got on this side, the new media side, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Listen, new media killing. Boxingego, we killing. You already know what it is. Ain't nobody did it like me. I started this gangster shit. Who was doing news clippings and, talking boxing, talking this talk on the mic like this, daily videos like this, you know who started this shit. Now a bunch of people come, and try to bite the hand that feed them. Like, motherfucker, I created this. I wasn't in gyms and shit, and that was my bread and butter. My bread and butter was rocking the mic, period. Exactly. Shout out to Kane. He said ego rejects need a safe space. That's what I'm saying. They use other channels as like a safe haven. We don't say no names. Names are irrelevant. I don't even know half these dudes, but I get an overview of what's going on. So that's cool. Who's Alexis Mundo? He creating an issue. But yeah, man. I was called a hood rat today, first thing in the AM. That's what I'm saying. But see, you got to look at that. Honestly, like, I'm not even saying this to brag or boast. It is what it is. But who bring females to the platform? We got a lot of female fans. Like, they be in the live streams. They be in the live streams with me. You go to these other channels, they don't got females in the comment section. Y'all ever notice that? Have y'all noticed that? You go to other people's live, they don't have no female. They don't have no female fanfare. But we got that on this side. You know, we appreciate everybody. He said, and they be bad too. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. These other channels ain't got females like us. We got female followers. You know what I'm saying? I see it because the female women just know you will be outnumbered. I'm not trying to scare y'all, you know, but y'all be outnumbered. And I can see it because every time the woman says anything, hi chat, y'all be thirsty and shit. Oh, hey Cindy. Like, y'all be super thirsty because there'd be a couple of female baddies in here and stuff. I see it. Y'all think I don't see it. Trust me, I see it. We got females that watch. We bringing females to the sport. Let's get it, bro. And the females be having knowledge. They be acting. This is crazy. The game is crazy. Hey, I must say it. The females be acting. They be acting more masculine than some of the dudes. They be less emotional than the dudes. Man, I'm the plug, bro. You already know. Young Carlito. Call me Ego Brigante. Okay. I'm reloaded. You guys think you big time? Here go the pain. You guys think you big time. They ain't got females like us. The females be less. Ain't that a trip? The female be way less emotional than dudes. Do you notice I can't think of one female that we blocked and she kept coming back. But them dudes do. The dudes be like, all right, get out of here, you racist, block. Dun 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 doo. And then they're back with the same like variation of a screen name. Talking about some, oh yeah, ego. I'm never gonna get blocked. I'm always gonna come back. Like, what the fuck? What is this, bro? We brought females to this shit. Oh my gosh. Spence Jr. about to make a statement, homie. Boxing fans from Waco, Texas, love your style. 100 miles from Dallas. We 100 miles and running. Shout out to Dallas, Texas, man down on the 16, homie. We gonna see, but I gotta rock with Errol Spence. This dude is a serial killer. I'm trying to tell y'all. The way he just was looking at that face to face. Nah, the dudes do be thirsty on here. Anytime the females, they be, hi, Miss Parker. Yeah, y'all be nasty. Don't be doing no Cosby shit on my watch. I just left the Boxingego stream. Nah, like, nah, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Errol was mugging like Hannibal Lecter. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what it is in Texas. I got folk in Texas, but he's like, he was looking like Hannibal. Mikey was like, yeah, I'm just a better fighter. I could beat him. And Errol just, hello. So nice to see you, Clarice. Like, this motherfucker. There once was a caretaker who tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Like, hey, Errol, that's what I'm saying. He be on the low with it, but I see it. I see in his eyes, like, what he talking about. So nice to see you, Clarice. There once was a fighter named Mikey who tried to test me. I beat up his liver and kidney with some body shots. More dudes posing as women. I know Jenny Gonzalez. Jenny. That's why you put Jenny in all caps, because you're not really a female. It says, ego, shave that beard. Get the fuck out of here. Women love my beard. I know you're not a woman. That's why you're trying extra hard. And you put Jenny in all caps and Gonzalez in all lowercase. Get the fuck out of here. You're a dude. Don't be concerned about my beard. I got this. You see? That's what I'm saying. Spread the love. Go do this to Dan Rayfield. Talk about his ties and, whatever he wearing, watches, his face, his glasses. Don't do that to me. Don't do that. You know, hold on. The beer must, you know. Look. Is this what you want? Hold on. This is what they want. This is what they need. Okay. Oh, yeah. We going Viking today. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I know that wasn't a female. I know that dude wasn't a female. Women love the beard. That's cause with whiskers like a rat compared to beans you whack ass can't grow and don't be hating on the Don. Young Carlito. Okay. I'm real on that. You guys think you big time? They mad at Ego Brigante. They mad, bruh. Suge Light. Death Row East, believe in it. This is pitiful, bro. We got dudes posing as women in here. They got dudes really posing as women. Shave the beard. Hey, y'all just let me know I'm doing something right. Y'all need to super chat me for this. This is some bullshit. You see what I got to deal with? I fuck with Ego. He probably the coolest boxing channel on YouTube. Appreciate you. See, Michelle Burchard. We got women in here, bruh. Let me stop because I don't want y'all. You know how some dudes don't know how to act when females in the room. They be doing too much. Hey, look at me. Leave these women alone. They just want to talk boxing. We just boxing fans. They don't want to talk to your crusty, dusty, musty ass. Let them talk about Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. They want to talk this fight talk with us. They want to talk about the black champ. Why want to? They just Don Marco. Yeah, man. I told you we got the livest live stream. They want to talk about it. Like I said before, I done the livest gates. We got the realest live stream. I'm still wearing Gucci. Nah, let me stop playing. Y'all motherfuckers think I'm really rocking Gucci. Spence might punish Mikey with that body work. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, AB hurt. He hurt the boy Mikey with the body. He hurt him. Shout out to D-Land. He said, I get out the military in 6 months. My beer game going to be like Egos in a couple months. Yeah, I know the military be like, they be like strict on that. But, yeah, man, we working. Wilder took Fury to the Shadow Realm. You know how hard you have to get to switch networks? Do you know how much power is in that punch to make you switch network? Like, you was cool working with Showtime, and you like, you want some of this too, old man? No. Do you know how hard a motherfucker have to hit you to switch networks, bro? That's like the dude. Remember, he was like the Verizon spokesperson, and then he switched up, and now he do Sprint videos. I think Wilder punched that dude. What did he go to? Do you know what I'm saying? The dude, he was like Verizon. He was like a spokesperson for Verizon, and then he all of a sudden was doing like AT&T or T-Mobile or some shit. But he was selling Verizon broadband. Do you know how hard you have to get punched to switch it up like that? Man, shout out to Sheem G. That's some motherfucking power. Shout out to Sheem G, $5 super chat. Salute Eagle Army. Appreciate you. Yeah, can you hear me now? That guy. Bro, Listen to me. Do you know how hard a man has to hit you to switch networks? Wilder's power is unfucking real, bro. You switch networks. That's some power for your ass. Like, okay, let's say I was a voiceover actor for Transformers, and then I got punched by Wilder, and then all of a sudden I leave Transformers and I'm on Voltron. You'd be like, what the fuck? How ego go from Transformers to Voltron? You feel me? They'll be like, oh shit. I'm like, that Wilder punch, he hit me. You know, I'm not fucking with Transformers. Sam, there's much you don't. I'm not fucking with Optimus Prime anymore, because Wilder punched me. I like Voltron, you know. And then Wilder punched me again, I'm going to Thundercats. That's some power, bro. That's power to make you switch some shit like that. Wilder got that that true baptism, make you switch your religion. You went from atheist to a believer. I'm a born again Christian. Hey, Wilder's power is too real, bro. That's like somebody like being a blood, like, hey, yeah, what's blood? What's bragging? I'm from Cedar Block blood. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Bompton, it's that blood. And then Wilder punch you, yeah, and then you like sea walking and shit. Like, no, bro. He punched you out the gang. He punched you into a different gang, bro. You was banging red. You was flamed up. And now you blued up, trued up. That's crazy. Wilder got that type of power. He make you switch your gang on gangs in them. I'm from Cali, though. I don't bang, but I'm from Cali. I know how this gang life be. This shit is a real culture. And Wilder will make you switch. You be like, yeah, Cedar Black blood.
This the real deal.
It's bomb.
This the real deal. Easy work.
Here, motherfucker. Fresh light, Impala, chrome hydraulics. Hold on, I was. Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all this. This is that Wilder power. Go from this. I put that on Cedar Block blood, 40 Glock. Fresh light, Impala, chrome hydraulics, 808 drums, you don't want none, nigga better run. When beef is on, I pop that trunk, come get some, pistol grip, pump, if a nigga step on my, it's red, run. Compton, Dre family in the slut. You went from that to getting punched by Wilder, and then it's this. Oh boy. 9-4 plus 5 pennies. Add that shit up, nephew. Bow Wow. Nephew. Battle Cat. I said Battle Cat. I got glaucoma. That's a cataract when I battle cats on this. Let me stop. Hold on. Man, Wilder punched Fury off the network. That's unheard of, bro. That beat is so underrated, bro. Fuck Paulie Malignaggi. Y'all got Tourette's? What did Paulie Malignaggi got to do with anything? Oh, cause what he said. Tyson Fury ain't even talking like the same person, really. before he's like, I'm the Gypsy King and a long line of fighters. You know, he's saying all this. Now he's like, I'll fight whoever they want me to fight. You know, everybody deserves a chance. He sound different. Tyson Fury, that's that easy work. Okay, Sierra F, she gonna hit us off with that easy work. She said, this that easy work. LOL. Get it, Ego. Keeping us laughing. We got Solo Ho, another one. We got another $5 super chat. It says, hey, Ego, easy work. Says, hey, Ego, my friend, said you're in the Lions Den Boxing Club. I don't think you are, but I also don't know what it is. Can you explain, G? No, I'm not part of anything other than what I say. I'm new media, but, you know, shout out to everybody else. Everybody else's movement. I know some people in the LDBC, you know, so that's it. But, you know, I came out with my own shit before anybody was clicked up, and that's new media. So that's what I am. But, you know, shout out to other people in the movement. You know, I'm sure they got some good voices. You know, like my dude Blue, shout out to him. Ticket, rep the Bay Area. So that's it. But, you know, my thing is this. I care about like the people who are talking about that real shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Y'all could do this, like talk about like clicks and shit like that. It's about what you talking about, you know? And I know who's not talking about the shit that matters. Oh, shout out to Jose de Jesus. He said I missed a super chat. Ego, are you coming for Crawford Khan? That's a good question. You know what? Shout out to Jose de Jesus. What do y'all want me to cover? Crawford Khan in New York, or Danny Garcia, Adrian Granados in my state, in California? They just announced it for California. I thought it was going to happen at the Barclays, but I guess it's probably not because of Crawford Khan. You know, they probably don't want 2 New York fights. Danny Garcia, Adrian Granados card, or you want me to cover Terrence Crawford Khan? Vote. Y'all sure like when I spend some money. Damn, everybody. Keep voting. Someone said, how come nobody on YouTube promotes Sean Porter? Man, I was going to go to the fight, but I don't know, just because it's like I got so much to do. And then there's the Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia fight. And I feel like I don't know if I'm going to go now, because like I feel like if I do go, then that's going to throw me back. Like I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to get all my stuff done, you know, because then I have to try to leave next week again for the Errol Spence fight. So it almost makes more sense for me to stay back. Like I didn't realize how fucking close that these are weeks apart, like a week apart. You know, I wanted to cover that though. No, I wanted to cover it, but it's just like, I don't know. The timing is just crazy. The timing is super crazy. Anyway, I'm about to get off of this live stream. I didn't realize I've been on for 2 hours with that conference call. You know, I haven't really thought enough about the Porter bout. I guess because I don't know enough about you guys. Like, I've obviously watched him. You know, I've covered fights where he was on the undercard. He was on something I covered at the Barclays Center. But, I got to watch a little bit more, like more film study type shit on him. I just think it's a good fight, though. I think it's a good fight. Crawford Khan. Damn, man. y'all need to. I need someone in New York that owns like a fucking timeshare or something, or charter plane. I don't think he punched enough or hard enough. He seemed like he controlled pace. Sean won't allow. Come to New York. Crawford Khan has a lot of good. Oh yeah, that does have a good card. Like the boy Shakur Stevenson fighting in a step up. Chris Diaz, Pitbull Diaz, and then Teofimo. I told you that's one of my goals. I want to watch Teofimo live. Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. I don't know, man. I hate when they do this though, when they be doubling up, because I would try to cover both, but you know. Yo, I need a videographer in New York and Los Angeles. All business though. Somebody serious. Email me if you know somebody boxing fan, videographer. We looking for quality stuff like that. Cause there's just too much shit going on, and these companies are trying to battle each other, so they're like doubling up on the dates and stuff. Like I know I'm not gonna be able to. Jose de Jesus, holla at me. You know, I can't cover everything. You know, like me personally, like I try to get to the fight, but it's like, hey, try to resend it though, Jose de Jesus. I get a lot of emails, like for real. Yeah, man, I need to start. We need to start locking down these major cities. L.A., New York, you know, New York area, Jersey, Bmore, you know, that area. And then branch out, try to get Texas, and definitely UK too. We need some UK. I need some UK. I got some people in the UK, but they be mad busy because they got hooked up with a big video production gig for the boxing company, so you know they can't cover everything. Yeah, we about to take over. Let's just do the takeover. Fuck it. Yeah, I'll probably do a stream in a little bit. Another one. This shit was fun. But yeah, some of the questions were just bad. The Errol Spence, I see he probably wanted to get off the phone. You know, what high school did you go to? Really? That's what it's at. Like, and see, this is the thing. Like, how does that build anticipation? Knowing which high school Errol Spence went to, how does that build anticipation for next week? Does anyone like, oh man, he went to DeSoto High? You know, I gotta watch this fight. That doesn't really do nothing. So I feel like I would sidebar that. I would sidebar questions like that. You know, you can ask him that on Twitter. Like, hey, I'm writing an article about you. Blah blah blah. What high school did you go to? Ego and Blue Blood collaboration was fire. Wouldn't mind that again, family. Yeah, I have to holler at him, see what he's up to. There's just a lot going on in boxing. You know, Dillian White going to ESPN. Bro, I don't even know. There's so much stuff going on. Hey, I'm gonna cover if Wilder fights Dominic Breazeale. I'm gonna cover that, and I don't want to hear shit from none of y'all. Listen, they're already started. Like, how did I become this pristine where I could predict what old media is gonna do? I've already seen it. You know, I've already seen it. People, why? What? He's fighting this guy he knows he can beat. They blaming Wilder. Ain't this crazy? They are blaming Wilder. They are blaming Wilder for him having to fight as mandatory in lieu of Tyson Fury going to ESPN. And then vouching for Tyson Fury jumping out of the Wilder Fury 2 negotiations to go grab a bag with ESPN and, you know, create that whole void. This is crazy. Ego, what about Clarissa Shields versus Hammer? I'm definitely going to watch that. 2019 is big for... I want to go... Hey, actually, I'm going to text you, Bakari, because I don't know if you applied what site you applied under for that fight. Because, that's a fight. I would definitely cover that. That's big for women's boxing. They're doing an all access for that. Shout out to Showtime for that. I'm going to text you, B car. The Wilder hate is literally unbelievable. Yeah, there's people bragging that American company is putting more money down on foreign fighters and never on American fighters. No, I know you haven't got a response. You probably haven't. You're not going to get a response that fast, but I don't know. Yeah, I like Shields versus Hammer. I'm going to drop that. I dropped the part where she was talking about Errol, but I never dropped the full Clarissa Shields interview. It was like 15 minutes. So I could put that together quick for y'all. They cool with Fury and AJ fighting bums neck. Man, these dudes be so fake. Everything they said they hate in one fighter, like I can think of so many double standards. It's not even like cute. It's not funny or anything. When they lied and said he waited for guys to get old and only cares about money, and then you see Tyson Fury pursuing a bag over legacy, and he doesn't even have a Mayweather resume to the point where Mayweather was able to pick his fights and stuff like that post De La Hoya. There's no one that can convince me that Fury's resume is anywhere near Mayweather's. Mayweather's later part of his career. Fury had a draw with Wilder and beat Klitschko and Derek Chisora twice. I try not to think racist, but how much do black fighters got to do to be accepted? I always say this. You need more people. See, I'm gonna give you guys the cold hard truth. In the black community, it lacks unity. Bars. The black community oftentimes lacks unity. I'm not saying everyone, but I'm saying a lot of times. There's a lot of people don't understand. People be like, oh, slavery, still talking about that. Stuff like that type of mindset. But that's clearly created almost like mental hardships for people. You get what I'm saying? That has lasted for generations. You see it. You see battles between light skin and dark skin. You know how many dark skinned dudes have hated on me, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Out of nowhere, they all equate light skin to being soft and weak and all, whatever. Cool, that's what's up. But you got that kind of internal battle. You got coon channels that they pander and cater to the racist narrative and try to appease people who are racist. That's why I said I love it. I love when people leave my channel, get blocked, and then they're up on some coon channel and they're like, yeah, great show, great video. Because if they call me an N-word or a monkey and you up here, darker than me or whatever the situation is, how do they not feel the same about you? You feel me? Because racism is ignorant. So if you say something that like an actual racial slur, it doesn't just apply to the one person you're saying it to. It's like at that point the gloves are off. You're demeaning a whole group of people. Do you get what I'm saying? Like if you had beef with your coworker who happen to be gay, you're not going to say something against gay that affects all gay people. Do you get what I'm saying? Same thing with race. It's the exact same thing. If somebody says a racial slur, you're not actually offending just the person you're saying to. You're condemning the whole race. You're saying this about the whole race. So, when I see coon channels and stuff like that, that's a perfect example of lack of unity. You're pandering to people who I know to be racist because I've removed them and their ignorance from my channel. You get what I'm saying? And you up here, and that's your alleged support group. So what does that tell you? Shout out to Icy the One. They out here like Frieza calling people monkeys and shit, shaking my head. It's wild as fuck. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, we see it. You know, like you go to a video and it'd be like, oh yeah, fucking monkeys always crying, and you know, stupid shit like this. Monkeys always crying, and it'll have 25 likes. Why would you like that? Why that mean you? To me, that's like you endorse that. I don't. When I see ignorance in any form, I'm not like endorsing it. Like, well, racial ignorance, I guess you could say. I'm not endorsing it. You don't see me put a heart by it. People, and these channels know that it's not just coon channels. There's white channels that are like this too, Caucasian hosts and stuff like that. You know, in your comment section, especially if you ain't popping like me. Like for me, I don't know what's going on in my comment section. You know why? Because I get too many comments. But these smaller channels, they don't get enough comments. You know, you ain't got enough stamps in your passport. So you really know what's going on at the level, because I've been at that level. I've been at that level, you know, and unless you're doing this full time, like me, Ellie, Dante and shit like that, you could probably get a good feel and you're still reading comments. I don't even read comments half the time. Ivan Diaz, what channels do this? I don't care. I'm not going to list a bunch of channels that do this. You browse YouTube and find out, you know. I don't even know. Some of the people I don't know. Like, there's so many flash in the pan channels. You know, I've seen it. YouTube is like a cycle. You know, there'll be one guy, like, let's say there'll be one coon channel and he'll diss me, and then he'll just stop making videos and just disappear into the wilderness. And then, you know, every so often, another coon channel will appear and they'll do the same thing. And I'm still here and they're never here. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, when you have a smaller channel, you have less comments to sift through. So you know what's going on. And these people, I know these, like, there's, like I said, coon channels or white hosts or whoever, and they know what's going on in their comment section. They know their videos are inciting this bullshit. And then they have the nerve to call other people, like, say other people are race baiting and racist and, you know, bias and dumb shit like that. But you look at your comment section and you thumbing up comments from some of the people that I know I've blocked for racial infractions, you know, talking crazy to other people, saying racial slurs, and they're on your page and leaving comments and you putting hearts by it and stuff. We know the game. We know how the game goes. The black channel. So, you know, like I said, all we could do is shine light on what's going on. And this is the thing. This is why new media is still so relevant in this game. Is, you know, when these motherfuckers like make videos about me or new media and it fucking sucks, you gotta think about it. How do you make multiple videos about somebody if they suck? If they got exposed, if you roasted them in a debate, and it should be over for me, right? How do you keep making videos? Like, it doesn't even make sense. If someone, like, that's not the definition of getting exposed. If you get exposed, you get found out. Like, oh shit, so-and-so was found out. So-and-so, you know, killed your, like 50 Cent Ja Rule. Perfect example. 50 exposed Ja, or, you know, whatever you want to call it, and Ja's career never recovered. So, you know, you always get channels that come, oh, ego's destroyed and I killed his debate and argument. Okay, cool. I'm destroyed. Then what? And then we continue to grow. So how did I get destroyed? You know, this shit doesn't even make sense. How you destroy someone's career and then they do better. That's like 50 dissing Ja Rule, and then Ja Rule goes diamond. Like, he didn't destroy him at that point. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, we see the things in the game. We just do our thing. Keep it pushing. Keep motivating. Keep it on a positive tip. You know, but you guys have to, as just real, like I said, encourage what's real. Stop. Why even listen to that bullshit? You know? Why even listen to the bullshit when you know it's some bullshit based on the title? You know what I mean? And then you got to question yourself. Why would someone constantly talk about people they don't like? Like, what? I don't get it. Why would you constantly talk about a channel whose content sucks that you don't like? That's cool. You made it clear that you don't like that person's content. Clout chasing, that's why. You know, people, oh, Ego got super chats and he's a beggar. What that got to do with you? Please let me know that. It just shows you jealousy. It shows you envy. And the signs are all there. And if I see it, I know for damn sure y'all see it. Cause why does Ego's super chats come out of anybody's mouth? Why? What does that have to do with you? You know, Ego wants money. Ego's begging for, like, you know, what does that got to do with anybody else? Shout out to Keith Hunter. Exactly. He said, where I'm from, that's called dick riding. Facts. But Kennedy Linder, what I'm saying is this is like, I feel what you're saying, but it's also an overstatement because he said negativity sells. But that's not true because I'm not doing this, you know. I don't dislike channels and then watch their content and then make videos, you know. So that's like an overstatement. You know, people say like they think you have to do certain you don't have to have a gimmick in this game. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to have a gimmick. You know, if you spit that real, and it's gonna resonate. And like it's funny because new media ever since we came in, the day I got out of jail was a motherfucking pro. Listen, he said never once have I seen or heard Ego ask for a super chat. They pushing lies. Icy the One, shout out to you. That's what I'm saying. Like they say, oh, Ego begging, but the super chats just randomly come. Like just right now, right on time. Sid Brown, you couldn't plan that more perfect. I said the super chats just come and then one came. Shout out to Sid Brown, right on time. Give Sid Brown some claps. That was like we planned it. Super chat is a donation hater. He didn't ask. This the real one. Easy work. And like I said, you guys can say whatever you want. I'm comfortable. I'm good in my own skin. You don't see no channel that's my size, that's not new media, that's able to do this. Shout out to Chesamine, £1 super chat. That's able to do this. There's channels bigger than mine that when they go live, you don't ever see no super chats. I told you I'm the ear, the voice of the streets. But I'm still in the industry too. But I'm in these streets too. Like it's, you know, best of both worlds. It's whatever. But yeah, man, you don't have to have no crazy gimmick in boxing. You just gotta find your voice and keyword your voice. See, that's the thing. People are sloppy. Is that we live in a clout chasing society. This shit is called YouTube. You supposed to be the star. People be trying to make me the star of their channel, like put my name on the video. I ain't got nothing to do with your channel. I don't know you. You know, it's called YouTube, not us tube, motherfucker. YouTube. You do this. You know, you build something. You make something out of yourself. This ain't we tube, motherfucker. It's easy work. They trying to eat off your name. I know. I never had to go, like, you know, I don't know. I never had to experience certain things to this level, like weird dudes, like cut your beard. Like, what guy says that? You know, that's not how people act, and where I'm from, that's not really how people just generally act and stuff like that. So you have to learn on job. Everything is a learning curve. But I never, when I seen Jay-Z talk about certain things on song, people change and this and that, and, you know, haters and Floyd, you never really understand it until you live it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to E-Bong. He said, I've been a paying sub for months now because Ego made an unbiased channel that spits the facts. Best $5 investment ever. It's funny because they can't understand it. They're like, man, how's he got channel memberships? How's he keep growing? How's he keep doing? I'm me at the end of the day. That's one thing you can't copy. And these dudes be trying to figure it out. And like, look, I look at it like this. Like, channels be like, oh, why do you guys watch this? And my channel has so much to offer. Why you have to beg? Like, who's really begging? Like, why would you have to tell people what you have to offer? Because they're obviously not subscribing to you at an alarming rate, you know? So if you know, it's just like, just beta male shit. A lot of men are insecure, and their insecurities bleed through. You know, oh, my channel has so much to offer. I'm do this well, and I do this well. All right, if you do everything well, then you should be growing. It's that simple. You know, and then you knock another channel like mine. Oh, yeah, fucking Dante and Ego. But then we the ones continuing to grow. You know, I don't know. You tell me what it is. I'll probably be back with another live stream. Shout out to Ace Boogie 7. Yeah, I'm about to do another live stream. Just give me a little bit. You know, I'm gonna take a little break. But I'm in my bag today. You know, I don't know if I'm gonna go to the Sean Porter fight now, because I just feel like being away from home for a couple of days is gonna fuck me up for next week for the Spence shit. So it's coonery, point blank. We know what it is, Ronald. They don't know how to create their own lane. That's their problem. I'll be back with some more heat. Holla at the kid.